When you hear the word Munich, what's the first thing that pops into your head? For a lot of people, it's probably beer halls and giant festivals, right? But what if I told you that the story of this one city could actually tell us something huge about the joy, the pain, and even the anxieties of our entire world? Let's dive in.
It's a totally fair question. I mean, how can one single place reflect all of our experiences? Well, you'll see how Munich kind of acts like a mirror, showing us three really distinct and honestly often conflicting sides of the world we live in today.
It all starts here with a story of just pure, unfiltered celebration. We're talking about joy and community on a scale so massive, it's famous all over the globe. But then there's also this other story, a story of deep, painful remembrance, a story about a moment when the entire world just held its breath in absolute horror. And finally, it's become a story about right now, our present moment. It's a story of a global order that, well, a lot of people are afraid is coming undone right before our very eyes. So you have these two realities coexisting in the very same city. On the one hand, you've got Oktoberfest, this massive global party that brings in over 7 million people. And on the other, you have the memory of the 1972 massacre, where 12 lives were tragically cut short. It's celebration and sorrow, all woven into the fabric of one single place. All right, let's start with the image of Munich that pretty much everybody knows. For millions of people, Munich means one thing: beer, pretzels, and the biggest party on the planet. And you know, these traditions, they go way back. Oktoberfest wasn't some tourist invention. It actually started way back in 1810 to celebrate a royal wedding. The iconic glass mugs we all know, they showed up in 1892. And that famous cry, "O Zopt ist," which means "it is tapped," that's been kicking off the fun since 1950. This scale of this thing is it's mind-blowing. Just look at the numbers from 2023. This 18-day festival pulled in 7.2 million people, and get this, they drank almost 7.5 million liters of beer. It's not really a festival, it's more like a temporary city built for a party. But behind all that noise, all that celebration, there's a silence, a deep scar on the city's history that no amount of beer can ever wash away. We're talking about the 1972 Munich massacre, a moment that didn't just change the Olympics, but really changed the world forever. This is the city's darkest day. It's a memory that Munich now carries as a heavy but profound responsibility. To honor those who were lost, there's a quiet, very solemn memorial that now stands in the Olympic Park. It's there to remember each of the 12 lives lost, 11 members of the Israeli Olympic team, and 1 German police officer. And this memorial, it doesn't shy away from the horror of what happened. The official description says that it uses contemporary film sequences from that time to show the course of the massacre. It's a direct, unflinching look at history, making sure that we never, ever forget the human cost of that day. So this history of confronting difficult truths has really shaped Munich's modern identity. Today, the city doesn't just remember its past, it's actively grappling with the present. It hosts these critical conversations about a world that one report describes as being under destruction. This is the Munich Security Conference. Every single year, world leaders gather right here. But they're not here to celebrate. They're here to confront the planet's most dangerous crises. It has become the place for debating global security. Their latest report points to this really dangerous new trend. They call it wrecking ball politics. It's this idea that some leaders are just no longer interested in careful, slow reform. Instead, they're promising to take a wrecking ball to the old systems and just start over from scratch. The report points to quotes exactly like this one from former U.S. President Donald Trump as a perfect example. I mean, that's not the language of gradual change, right? It's the language of a complete and total break with the past. And you hear it from others, too. U.S. Senator Marco Rubio arguing that the whole international system that was built after World War II isn't just broken, but that it's now a weapon being used against us. That right there is the core belief that's driving this whole wrecking ball approach. So you have to ask, what's fueling this kind of politics? Well, just take a look at the public mood. Huge majorities in the UK, the US, and even Germany feel totally helpless about what's happening in the world. And when people feel that powerless, the promise of some strong leader who can just smash through all the problems, well, it can start to sound pretty appealing. And this is where the report's conclusion gets really chilling. It argues this isn't just about foreign policy anymore. This climate of disruption, fueled by that sense of helplessness, is seen as a direct assault on the very foundations and norms of liberal democracy itself. So, we end up right back where we started. In one city, Munich, we see these three completely different stories playing out: a festival of pure joy, a memorial of unimaginable tragedy, and a conference on global anxiety. The journey from the beer tents of Oktoberfest to the tense debates of the Security Conference, that's not just a story about Munich. It's a story about the huge shifts happening in our world today. So what does it say about us when the same city that hosts our biggest party also has to host our most urgent warnings?